The stream is live.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Welcome back. Welcome. It's so nice to see you again.
Peace, love, and light to all of the space timers, and welcome to the next episode of the Love, Space, and Time podcast. I am your co-host, Kamisha.
And I am Vernon. Yes, it's been so long. It's been a long time. We shouldn't have left you without a strong rhyme to step to.
Yes, it has been about 90 days since we have sat down in front of the camera to tape the Love, Space, and Time podcast. But before we get started, we want to just say that this episode of Love, Space, and Time is sponsored by Camnon Business Services.
Yes, indeed. Check them out. For those of you who are serious about doing business for yourself, getting your side hustle on and doing it the right way, go to camnonservices.com. Check them out.
Okay, awesome sauce. So, wow, we're back.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a while.
We hit some milestones since the last time we've been together, haven't we?
So let's talk about what we have been up to since we published our last episode back in August.
Oh, so long ago.
As for myself, wow, I have been working every day, just striving to better myself spiritually and mentally so that I can be a better person and a better partner to you, Vernon. And life is good. I cannot complain at all. I am just growing by leaps and bounds, and life is good. I'm happy.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing. You feel at peace?
I do. I feel at peace.
With all that's going on in the world, you feel like you're still on top and vibrating at your highest capacity?
Listen, it's all in divine order. So the most that I can do and the best that I can do is focus on me and what's good for me and my life. So that's why I am with it.
That sounds like you are in a very good space.
What about you?
I've been doing well since our last get together, since our last time going live on this episode, I should say. We've been doing well. We've crossed the 1 year anniversary mark.
Woohoo!
We are going strong, and we intend to stay going long. I'm feeling good about myself. I'm feeling good about who I am in relation to God, our family, the universe, you, and us, and we. And everything is moving in the right direction. I feel that, I affirm that, and I'm going to stand on that. Standing on business.
We expect greatness, so we shall indeed have that greatness that we expect.
That's right.
Absolutely. So, yes, we celebrated 1 year, and I don't want anybody to get it twisted. It's been 90 days since we published a podcast, but we've definitely seen each other.
Oh, yeah. We still on our regular schedule.
90 days.
We still on our regular schedule once a month. Somebody goes somewhere. And
somebody
we meet
goes
up with
somewhere.
one another.
Right.
So you've been up here. We had a little fun and adventure on our anniversary. You came up to Philadelphia, and we actually went to a murder mystery dinner theater. That was the first for me, but I was looking forward to that. That was one of the things I had on the bucket list.
That was so much fun because I definitely watched the cop shows, the murder mysteries on TV, CSI, Snaps, I watch all the shows. So to be able to come to Philly and actually participate in something live and in person was really cool, and I had a good time.
Yeah, that was good stuff. So I'm glad they do multiple variations of it. It's something I would like to do again. So look forward to that in your future.
Absolutely. And you actually just finished a visit here in Atlanta this current weekend.
That's right. We made history this weekend. I went down to the ATL, and I went to the Trap Music Museum. Yeah.
Yes, and I have pictures to prove it of you hitting your b-boy stance,
Yeah.
That was fun.
This was a pretty fun weekend. We got to do a lot. We got to do a lot. I went to a gospel concert. Somebody
Yes.
since our last episode, somebody joined the choir. Things in the choir every Sunday.
Absolutely. That would be me. And I grew up singing in the church, in the choir, and it's something that I've always enjoyed. I feel like singing is a gift. I feel like singing is a way for me to express myself. So whenever I can get involved in something like that, I get involved in that. And so here I am. I have found a great spiritual center that brings me peace and direction. And I'm definitely a part of the music ministry, and I'm having a blast. So I give thanks for that as well. And
Yeah.
yes, we had a concert on Friday. That's why my voice is a little scratchy still. But we had a concert on Friday. The concert went very well. And then, we had to keep it moving. We were back singing this morning. So I am truly enjoying myself. Music is a very big part of my life and a part of my passion. So I'm very grateful to have the opportunity to participate in this way.
Hey, I have no reason not to encourage that. You know
Hmm.
what? I was thinking on Friday night. I was sitting there in the audience on Friday night, and I was like, man, of all the things that people are into, and all the things that I could be into, that is not as wholesome as this. What better place that I or we could be in than you up there, lifting your voice to reach the highest vibration you can reach, and me
Hmm.
being out in the audience to sit and receive that. We were in the same place for the same purpose. So, um,
Absolutely.
just
That's
another
really,
reason
that's
to
really,
feel
really
good.
good. Absolutely. I enjoyed it, and I'm glad that you were there and got the chance to witness us in our greatness. So give thanks for that.
Good stuff. Good stuff. So, what do we have lined up today? What do we are we done catching everybody up? We're gonna hit the ground
Um,
running.
yeah, so tonight was just about us kind of like breaking the ice again and say, surprise, we're back and we're still together and we're still going strong and life is good and we're in love and we're enjoying this thing. And
Sure is.
this is just something has always been something for us from the beginning to share our story in hopes that it will encourage other people to, if they've never thought about a long distance relationship, to really give it some thought and consideration, and don't let distance be something that prohibits you from finding the love of your life, really.
True that. There's no barriers unless you set them up. And why would you do that?
Why would you do that? And I've been talking a lot about 90 Day Fiance lately because I do
Right.
watch the show, and really it's the same. It's kind of like the same concept. They're in a long distance relationship with someone who is in another country,
It is not the
and they're
same.
trying to navigate the nuances of someone who is in another country, another culture, perhaps even speaking another language,
They
different
trying to navigate
background.
the nuances of being crazy. That's what they trying to do.
Some of them are a little like, that, but on a very base level, it is an experience of long distance relationships, and they're
Mhm,
trying to navigate that and do it very publicly, like with
mhm.
cameras following them around. Like I can imagine a camera following us around.
Yeah, that would be something. But
That would be something.
we always ready for it though. So
Yeah, we may not look like it, but we're kind of goofy sometimes, and we just enjoy being silly. So I don't know. Some people might enjoy that. I don't know. But yeah, so anyway though, 90 Day Fiance is kind of like what we're doing here. We're sharing our story with people who are, having these type of relationships, and hopefully giving them the encouragement and letting them know, like, yeah, this is something that can be done in real life, not just made for TV, but in real life with regular people.
regular people and without the drama. Relationships don't have to entail drama. It don't have to entail, taking you all through the roller coaster ride. Doesn't have to be all that. You can
Yeah.
create the future that you want. You can create the relationship that you want. And you can do it on your own
Mhm.
terms too. It doesn't have to be what they say it has to be and what whoever's standard about it is. You can finally, at least I feel like that for us, we're finally getting to do relationship and do love the way that we want it to be done, as opposed to, you know, how everybody else and everything else says it should be done and that should happen.
Yeah, that's the beauty of two people coming together to decide this is how we want to live our lives. This is the roadmap we're charting for ourselves, and this is how we're going to do it. Period.
Yep. 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 And
So,
I have to say, I have to be thankful and grateful. That's the theme of this weekend. All weekend long, we've just been echoing how the need to be thankful and grateful. And
mhm.
I got to be thankful because we have a very, very good support system everywhere that we go, from family to friends to coworkers. We got people pulling for us and people
Mhm.
dropping encouragement in our ear. So that's a blessing.
Yeah, I definitely have a coworker who shall remain nameless, but is very vocal about their support of our relationship and even wanted to get your phone number so they could
Mhm.
tell on me. I'm like, I'm not even doing
Right.
anything. Like, what is all that about?
Gotta gotta have people working on your behalf when you're not around.
Absolutely. 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 So yes, glad to be here and to give our viewers, our fellow Love Space and Timers, just a little insight on what we have coming up. Let me get to my little document here. We want to share with you some of the things that we want to discuss in our upcoming episodes. So let me just get to that document. Bear with me. I thought I had it pulled up, but I did not.
What's that you're looking for?
I am looking for my schedule for our upcoming shows. Okay,
That's right.
I
You
have
lined
it
up
now.
some good stuff for us, right?
Yes. And so, definitely going to talk about personality types and love languages. That is a very big topic, and in no way, shape, form, or fashion am I an expert, but we can talk about how we've explored it, what our experiences have been with discovering the love languages, and how personality types can complement each other
Hmm.
or clash with each other. And I think it's important for couples to have that knowledge as a base so you can know what you're working with, so that can help you to manage your expectations.
Yeah, yeah. We are both in our own way big on different types of assessments and understanding
Mhm.
personality types and just what makes people tick and what contributes to chemistry and what contributes to compatibility. So, as you tune into these different episodes, when we find resources, we don't hesitate to share them. If we find something like the love space and time, the love languages assessment, they have one too, so you can find out what your love language is, what your partner's love language is. Um, Whether you are doing it for the people that you work around, the people who are closest to you in your community. We dig stuff like that. Even dealing with your sign. If you look at your zodiac and what orientation and what connection you have with all of the different aspects of space and time, all that goes into who you are and who you are as an individual and as a couple. So we
Yeah,
take it
that's
all into account.
yeah, the zodiac, the astrology is definitely one of the episodes that we're going to delve into astrology and numerology and the life path number and all of those things. We're going to talk about it. And like I said, I'm in no way, shape, form, or fashion an expert, but we can talk about our different experiences and how those numbers have given us and our sciences have given us insight into who we are as individuals. You know what I'm saying? It's like the light bulb can come on and be like, oh, that's why I've been that way. Oh, that's why I'm this way. So we're definitely I can't wait to talk about the zodiac sign and compatibility and numerology and all of those things. And it definitely goes deeper than your sun sign, because we also have a moon sign, we also have a rising sign, and then we have planets in different places in our chart that give us an indication of the type of being that we are or who we're destined to be in the future, like what it is that we came here to actually accomplish.
Hmm.
That's deep. I hope we can find an expert. Maybe the universe will send us. Universe, can you please send us an expert? I'm gonna put it out
Yeah,
there like that.
we're gonna have to reach out to a few people. Maybe we can get Lloyd Strayhorn or somebody like that on here because they're
Somebody come as an
they're
expert so we can talk about that on one of our podcast episodes. Go
There are
deeply into it.
definitely, and you know what? There are enough common lines because whether you deal with numerology, whether you deal with the zodiac, whether you deal with ancient systems, Egyptian, Mayan, whatever the case may be, to me, it's interesting where you find where those paths intersect. They start saying the same
Hmm.
thing, or they paint a clearer picture, and you
Yes,
get a better insight of yourself and a better insight of you know who you're dealing with.
exactly. Exactly. So that is definitely one of our podcast episodes. We're also going to talk about creating rituals for connection. So you and I have very strong rituals, Vernon, things that
Yep,
we
yep,
do every day with each other to the best of
yep.
our abilities to keep our connection strong. And that's very, very important. When you're not seeing your person every day, you got to be able to create a ritual that establishes their presence in your life.
Mhm.
So even though they're not physically with you, they're with you.
And the good thing about one of the good things about it, the way we do it is we're not rigid with it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't have to, we don't beat ourselves up if we miss a day of doing something, or instead of doing this on that day, we do that on this day. You know, it can flow however you want it to flow. You know, be like
Absolutely.
water, my friend, be like water. We can, you know, you can shape this and make it work for you. And that's ultimately what we're trying to encourage here. You know, there's an abundance of resources and tools that the creator has given us access to,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe you can't actually use them all or touch them all in one day, but what you have and what you experience for that day is what's meant for you to experience in that day. Take it,
Mm-hmm.
use it, make it something that enhances the relationship that you're in.
Mm-hmm. Just remain open to receive.
There you
Remain
go.
open to receive. Oh, also one of our episodes is titled Turning Two Households into One.
Hmm.
Because guess what? We're not going to stay long distance forever.
No, 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 no. That
At a
time is
certain
coming.
point, it's going to be time. Somebody's going to have to pack up, somebody's going to have to move.
That's right.
So, how do you navigate?
We've got some good things that have been propelling us and moving us forward in the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
So we are looking at, even though we'll be encouraging long distance relationships forever, uh, we don't intend to be in a long distance relationship forever.
Amen to that. Amen to that.
So
What I
we will
said, I
definitely
am
be
nobody's,
exploring that.
Vernon, didn't I tell you I'm nobody's long term girlfriend?
That's
Mm-mm.
right. That
No,
is right.
sir, no, ma'am.
Got to got to start with the end in mind. So we're going somewhere with this.
Exactly. So another episode we have for our well, not our fifth episode. I'm gonna have to renumber these again so it makes sense again. But basically the role of social media in long distance relationships. Does it
Mhm.
have a role? How strong of a role should it have? And how much are you into your partner's interactions on social media?
And
Hmm.
we gotta, I think maybe we can redefine what the purpose of social media is, because
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people just ain't doing it right.
And I kind of think it's getting out of hand a little bit too. A very wise person told me a long time ago to use social media to uplift humanity, put goodness
Mm.
out into the universe, use that social media platform as a way to influence others in positivity. But as always, every time something is introduced, someone goes left with it. So
Yeah,
now you have all kinds of things showing up on social media, and it's like, wow, that went left really, really fast.
yeah. I don't even know if it's all of a sudden. It seems like it's just a bigger window into how dysfunctional people can be. But you have an opportunity. You have an opportunity to reach many more people than you could have reached on your own, or than you could have in the past.
Mm-hmm.
So, you can take that and you can use it for the highest good, or you can put more of the same out there. So I'm
Yes,
hoping that we can inspire people to vibrate higher, to look and try to access their highest good,
right.
and reap the rewards of touching the highest good in somebody else. You know, So yeah,
Absolutely.
that's something that we'll get into on that episode whenever we get to it.
Absolutely. And another episode is near and dear to my heart, and it's about blending our families.
Hmm. Yep.
Because, yes, you're in a relationship. I'm in a relationship with you. You're in a relationship with me. But I have, and you have children and aunties and uncles and
Yeah.
cousins and parents and all of these people that we're introducing each other to.
Hmm.
And we want to be able to blend that successfully.
That's right. There was a time when relationships were all about that. It was all about your family and the wealth and resources that your family represented, and connecting that to an equal or greater ally, so that
Hmm.
families came together, and together they made bigger and bigger empires. They grew stronger in the world and were able to
Hmm.
accomplish and go for more. So yeah, it's more about it's more than just, how good you feel and how the person makes you
That's true.
smile. Because in the grand scheme of things, when you start thinking in terms of your purpose for being here, a relationship is so much more than that.
Can I just talk about TLC one more time, though?
Digging on
TLC.
you, digging on me,
No, not
digging
that
on me.
TLC. I told you about these shows on TLC. It's called,
Oh,
one of them is called I Love a Mama's Boy,
mhm.
and the other one is
Oh,
called
yeah,
Smothered.
I know you've been talking about that a lot lately. What's up with that?
Because in relation to building relations
Mhm.
and blending families and two people coming together, those shows to me indicate what not to do.
Mm,
Because the I love the Mama's Boy is about the women who are so involved in their sons' relationships. It's like they forget that's their child, and they behave as if their son is actually their husband or their partner. And so they
mm,
run interference between the son and his partner, and it creates havoc. And then on the
mm,
flip side of that, you have the women, also the women, because I don't see the men involved in these type of relationships, at least on this show. The women are so involved in their daughters' lives
mm,
that they wreak havoc on the daughters' relationships. So those are things to discuss as far as like, okay, if you're dealing with something like this, how would you even go about handling it? So it's food for thought. And to me, it's like what not to do,
mm.
what
Yeah,
not to do. And that's why I bring it up.
that's a good way to use those. If there's going to be any programming, yeah, take the lesson from it, because you don't necessarily have to duplicate everything you see,
Oh,
and you don't have
absolutely
to
not.
experience it either. Sometimes you can let
Mm-mm.
other people experience what they experience and learn from their
You learn a
mistakes, so you don't
lesson.
have to.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah,
When you see somebody else's red flags, you just promise and make an agreement with yourself that that will never be you.
I won't be like that.
Okay, and then another episode we have coming up in the future is coping with uncertainty and the future.
Mm.
Hmm.
Look at that. We're giving you real life skills.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's what this is about.
Yeah, because being in a long distance relationship and you're not in a city with someone, what if your government decides that they're not going to allow people to come into your country? Or you can't travel outside of your country because that country doesn't accept, people with certain passports. I mean, in this time, any of that stuff is a possibility
Yeah,
because we have big heads and egos running governments.
true.
That's
Yeah.
something that's something to think about. And then another one, managing conflict styles. So this is where we do a deep dive into how do you manage conflicts
Hmm.
and how does that resonate with your partner?
Yeah.
Because everything is not going to be roses and ice cream all the time.
True that. And hey, a big part of that is finding peace within yourself.
Hmm.
There should be. I'm a big proponent of making sure you know your square, making sure that nobody can get you off your square, because
Woo,
your
woo.
place where you stand, the peace that you carry within yourself, you have to get to a point where you're just not going to allow anybody to disturb that, because
Right.
that's what this world is about. This world, in case you didn't know, this world is bent full out on disturbing your peace.
Mm-mm. And
Just in case
distracting
you
you
didn't
from your
know,
peace.
You can't say
Mm-hmm.
nobody told you. I just let you know now. Everything about this, you have an intention to do something. Something in this world is going to give you a counter intention that's either going to slow you down
A
or steer
distraction.
you away from what you said you was going to do. So
Mm-hmm.
when you learn how to deal with that, when you learn that that's reality, first of all, and then you learn how to deal with that and cope with that,
Mm-hmm.
that goes a long way in being beneficial. That's a benefit to you being in a relationship with someone that you want to keep close to you.
Correct, correct, correct. And the last one we're going to discuss tonight, and it's very, 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 very important, is maintaining your mental health.
For sure.
In and out of a relationship, just you and you,
Hmm.
how do we maintain our mental health? So we're going to talk about tools that could help us with that.
Hmm. And some of them might not be what you first think of when you think of maintaining your mental health.
Mm-hmm.
We're not gonna rule anything out because what you do and how you handle life is might be different from what I
Might be
do and how I
different
handle
than the
life.
next
So I
person.
can't I can't invalidate nobody else's,
Mm-hmm.
what gets them through,
Mm-hmm.
and they can't invalidate mine. But at the same point in time, you never know what tool or resource can be helpful for whoever hears it out there. So we're gonna put them all up. We're gonna look for the value in everything that people do.
Absolutely. So that's just a little snippet of the episodes that we plan to bring to the Love Space and Time podcast over the next few weeks. We have another 90 days of episodes that we are planning. And I hope that we will find the avenue and the venue to keep this going beyond those 90 days.
Yes, indeed. Just like anything else in life, there's a struggle, there's a trial, there's not all a cakewalk. Sometimes there's challenges, and you got to step back and reset, and then hit it again. So that seems to be the theme that is getting us through our relationship, no matter what we encounter. We
Mm-hmm.
look at it, assess it, analyze it, examine it, and we go ahead and hit it whatever way we need to.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, with that being said, something that I wanted to add to this podcast, and I may or may not have said this to you in advance, but I wanted to do a question of the day.
Question of the day.
Yes, and I have it written down, and we're both going to get the opportunity to answer it, but I'm
Oh,
going to pose it to you first. Okay?
okay.
All right. What's the most memorable moment we've shared, and why was it special to you?
Oh, you mean like today?
In any over the past year?
I didn't know you were gonna ask the question today. Um, what's the question again? What's the most
I'm
memorable
asking
moment?
because I know you can handle it. I know who I'm dealing with, so I'm not even worried about it. What's the most memorable moment we shared, and why was it special to you?
The most memorable moment
Mm-hmm.
we've shared. Man, we've shared so many memorable moments. What's the most memorable? Um,
One of the
mm,
most memorable, if that
one
makes
of
it better.
the one of the most memorable moments is the first time that we actually visited one another. First time that I actually came down to visit you.
Mm-hmm.
First time that I saw you, you came to pick me up from the airport, and just that moment when we finally got to physically connect to one another. The moment I hugged you for the first time and saw you and saw how short you are, standing next to me and all that good stuff. It just made it so real. That's one of the most memorable moments out
You
of
know what,
very many.
Vernon? You know what?
What?
And this is no lie. This is no joke. I
No
am
cap.
saying the same thing. Remember that picture we took us in Starbucks?
Yeah.
Remember that picture? I reflect on that picture a lot because that was the first time you came to see me.
Hmm.
And like you said, you got to see the person in flesh. You got to touch them. You know what I'm saying? It's like I got to actually see how tall you are over me.
Yeah.
And it was so memorable because I'm like, you know how sometimes you have interaction with somebody on a device, you talk to them, you see their face on the screen, or you hear their voice on the phone, and they can tell you whatever it is they want to tell you. And you wonder sometimes, when I see this person, is the energy going to change? Is that energy still going to be there? And I can say, you are the same. Your energy is 100% legit. And
What
I
you see is
appreciate
what you
that.
get.
Exactly. I'm like, wow, I need that stability. I need someone who does what they say they're going to do and is on point. And that is you, sir. So I appreciate that so much.
That is what I'm striving to be.
So, yes, we're going to have a question for you and I. And then we're also going to have a question for our audience when we do our podcast coming up in the future. So,
Okay.
we want to let the people know where they can find the Love, Space, and Time podcast.
Okay. Of course, you can always go to the YouTube channel. You go to YouTube, just type in Love, Space, and Time podcast. Love, Space, and Time podcast.
Yes.
And you will see this background behind me. You'll see both of our faces. You'll know that you're in the right place when you see our face. So that's place number one. You can also join our community. We have a vibrant group of people who said that they are advocates for loving across space and time on Facebook. So look for the Love, Space, and Time Facebook group. We drop a lot of good gems in there. We are gems and shenanigans. So
Gems and shenanigans.
we're here for it all, and more often than not, it all goes there. So those are the main two places where you can find us: the Love, Space, and Time channel on YouTube and Love, Space, and Time Facebook group. Come on
And
and
we
have
do
some
have
fun with
the
us.
and don't forget, we do have the Instagram page. We're posting media there,
Yeah.
just sharing, some of the everyday things that we are learning about each other on our journey, sharing pictures from little things that we've done, just
Mhm.
kind of like our way to show a healthy long distance couple.
Yep. Yep. And we're always looking for actual in-person events to go to and to check out. So if something is interesting going on in your city, then hey, let us know about it. We can meet up, we can Eventbrite, we can do whatever. We can make sure that we connect because we would love to come out there and actually see and interact with some other people who are doing some good things. So
Absolutely,
look out for us on
especially
those platforms as well.
yes, and especially if you are currently in a long distance relationship and you would like to come on the show and share some of the experiences that you have learned from and gained from in your long distance relationship, we would love to have you as a host on as a co-host on our show or a guest on our show as well.
Hmm. Let's make some good things happen. Well, that is it
Hmm.
for this episode. We are winding down. Just wanted to say welcome back, welcome
Hmm.
back.
Yes, welcome back, and we look forward to talking with you again. Peace, love, and light.
All right. And once again, last word from our sponsors. Check out www.camnonservices.com if you are a
Hmm.
solo entrepreneur, a new entrepreneur who wants to plan and strategize for success in the future. Hit these people up because they will help you to create the roadmap to success.
Absolutely.
All right.
Peace, love, and light, y'all.
Peace, love, and light, y'all. Well, there's another episode in the bag.